Hey there, you guys. So, January is pretty jam-packed with some awesome, amazing games. And one of the games that I've been really looking forward to, but I didn't really know what to feel exactly, whether it's like super hyped, whether it's just I'm curious about this game. But it's Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. If you guys don't know, this is the eighth mainline game to the what was originally called Yakuza over here in the States. But over in Japan, they just called it Like a Dragon, and now it's all going to be called Like a Dragon moving forward. This is the game that takes place after Yakuza Like a Dragon and Like a Dragon Gaiden that released last year. I'm pretty new to Like a Dragon series, to be honest. I played a couple in and out, like pretty much throughout the series' like life, but I never really dabbled too heavily within it. My first real jump into a Like a Dragon game was Like a Dragon Ishin, a remake of a PS3 game that released last year. It was an amazing game. It was really awesome, but it was like a spin-off. It wasn't a mainline game. And then last year I also played Like a Dragon Gaiden. There's a review on the channel and some previews if you guys are interested in it. Overall, with those two games, I do say that I am very heavily interested in the Like a Dragon series moving forward. And I was always kind of like thinking, how do I want to jump into this? Well, if you guys don't know, if after you beat Like a Dragon Gaiden, there is a demo for Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. So I decided to check out the demo. There's two different demos. There's like the story mode demo, and then there's like the just run on Hawaii and beat people up demo. Um, the thing that really had me curious, and I didn't really know how I wanted to approach it, was the fact that with Yakuza Like a Dragon, or Yakuza 7, they made the Yakuza free series a turn-based RPG. And I've always known Yakuza as like this beat 'em up game where you kind of run around and like GTA style whoop people's asses. And I always really liked that. I always gravitated towards that, which is why, when I played Like a Dragon Ishin, I played Like a Dragon Gaiden, that was definitely more of the, 3D beat 'em up brawler style game. And I never really touched Yakuza 7. And after playing the demo of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, I might honestly like I'm a traditional like turn-based RPG fan. I grew up playing Final Fantasy games. I grew up playing, Dragon Quest games. I absolutely love turn-based RPGs, but lately it has been harder for me to play some turn-based RPGs, mainly because I've seen a lot that the genre has to offer, and it does take a lot to actually wow me within that genre, right? And like a Dragon's turn-based RPG, at least in the demo for Infinite Wealth, is outstanding. It is probably some of the most engaging, one of the most fun-looking turn-based RPG styles I think I've seen in a really long time. Now, I don't know if this is unique to this specific game. I'm assuming it's, building off of what Yakuza Like a Dragon, did back in Yakuza 7, but I am so upset with myself that I haven't hopped into this sooner. Tons of people have, been singing this game praises to me and telling me how great of a turn-based RPG it is. And for whatever reason, I was just naive. I didn't really hop into it, probably like I should have. But now playing the demo of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, man, I really get it. If you guys are not familiar with the way this turn-based RPG works, it is a weird like blend of what Yakuza has been with the whole beat 'em up style while making it menu based. So there's like a radius circle that like you deal extra damage if the opponents are within your radius circle. You get like this menu pop up that says like you have your attack, you have your skills, you have your etceteras, which is like your items, stuff like that. Um it is pretty wacky. It is pretty colorful and really out there. And you definitely have to suspend, your reasoning. You have to suspend logic and just live in this world of disbelief when you play it because it is wacky. It is silly. None of it really truly makes sense. And I love it for all of its crazy kookiness, its colorfulness. I like that you kind of walk around your opponents and kind of like get closer to them, so hopefully you can deal more damage to them. You can like set up combo attacks, like if hit your opponent and they fall next to one of your teammates, they can hop in and beat them up as well. There's a lot of like cool factors that make playing around with the different skills, playing around with the different attacks, if you guys are unfamiliar with the characters, we have Kiryu, who's been like the main character of Like a Dragon for most of the games, and then we have Ichiban, who is the newest like leading man of this series, and these two are like so similar but polar opposites in weird fun ways. Where Kiryu is definitely the more hardened, the more serious type of guy who can cut loose sometimes, and Ichiban is more of the really relaxed, kind of goofy, silly guy who definitely needs to get serious sometimes. So they definitely balance each other out. And I like the way that the dynamic of these two characters play within the actual like combat systems. You see it in everyone's different skill sets. Everyone has different unique skill sets that make them, stand out, that make them feel more useful and differentiate themselves from the other, players within your party. Um, in the demo you play as two other characters. I'm not really great with names, so I'm not gonna butcher the names. One of them you kind of interact with within the story. He is this guy that you help save from like the gangsters that he's running around with. He obviously owes them a debt or something, and he's doing some things that he maybe doesn't feel too comfortable with, but ultimately is forced to do things their way. Ichiban definitely sees it. Ichiban being the nice guy who kind of wants to help people out, kind of vouches for him to, gives him a way out, saying that, he will protect him. Kiryu, seeing that Ichiban is trying to be this, better man, he is trying to like, help, essentially this society out a little bit more, steps up with them. They save this guy. This guy's little, he's kind of a klutz. He's like the nerdy, dirty kind of guy. He's not as brave as maybe Kiryu Ichiban is, but he definitely has some skills. And then the other character that you're able to play as a demo, I'm not good with her name, but she seems kind of like the tour guide to Hawaii, and I really like her just skill set. I think she has one of the silliest skill sets where she like does ballerina dances, she dances with the opponent, she hits a bunch of people. Overall, like I'm singing praises to the turn-based RPG of it all, but that's just because, like, again, I've played so much turn-based RPGs. I've played so much with all my life that it does take a lot to be, I think, wowed by just the turn-based combat system, right? You have to do kind of a lot to make me perk up and really get excited. And I definitely think that this Yakuza's way of turn-based RPG, or at least the Like a Dragon way of RPG, is definitely something that has my attention. It has me glued. It has me interested in seeing how in depth this system can get, and overall just how fun it could be. If I want to step away from the RPG of it all and just talk about the actual story, this is a Like a Dragon story. It seems, it is very soap opera. It is very dramatic. It's very in the weeds, and it's very much like celebratory of the little moments, right? And the big moments, but I think these little moments that kind of build and build and build to these grand moments that you can tell this game is just gonna have. In the demo, you get like a little taste of what's going on. Ultimately, Ichiban finds himself in Hawaii. Kiryu finds himself in Hawaii for two separate reasons. As you kind of like get together with each other, you talk a little bit. They find out they're both there for similar reasons, and then they kind of go on their journey looking for a mysterious woman. Um, it also turns out that one of the main big baddies in Hawaii, like probably some big gangster or something, is also looking for said character. So ultimately, I feel like it's kind of a race between who could find said character first, whether it be, Kiryu and Ichiban's team, or, said big baddie. Um, it is very much just, I think, the beginning to what is going to be a grander, more like conspiracy, underbelly darkness of Hawaii type of bad guy thing. Ultimately, I really like it. I think there's a lot to be said about the way RGG Studios tells their stories. Again, where it is these little moments of like simplicity, like grabbing a drink at the bar with your buddies, and you guys are chilling, or having night out karaoke. Those little moments that kind of build and build and build to these grand moments that kind of like make everything worth every little payoff, right? And I look forward to seeing the payoffs that this game does have to offer. One of the things that I want to call out that I would recommend do not do. Um, so I've played a couple Like a Dragon games before, specifically Ishin and Gaiden, and I always played them in the Japanese like voiceovers. I never even knew there was English voiceovers, and I don't know if that's new to this game or if that's been there before. But in going into the demo, I put on the English voice acting just because I wanted to see how it is, and it was awkward. I think it feels empty and soulless. So definitely if you're into the game, I would not recommend playing it in the English voice acting. Definitely stick to the original Japanese VAs because I think there's more authenticity. They're kind of like goofiness, kind of like bounces off the animations better. It definitely fits the characters better. I'm not one to like insult anybody at their art, their talent. I'm sure these voice actors are great at what they do. Just something about Yakuza, the Like a Dragon series that just fits in original Japanese better for me. And I felt like doing it in English kind of felt off. It kind of made me feel detached to these characters. Specifically Kiryu, who's a character I've played in Like a Dragon Gaiden. Kiryu is also like somewhat the character Like a Dragon Ishin. So I definitely feel a strong connection to him, and I feel like the voice actor definitely misses the mark of who Kiryu is. It doesn't feel like the Kiryu I know. So when I replay the actual game, I definitely will stick to just the original Japanese VO because I think that suits the game better. Ultimately, I mean, though, the game is a shining example of everything RGG Studios does well, from the stories to the combat systems, to the characters and the worlds. I really like just the way they're adapting this to Hawaii, the way they kind of make like like the beaches and the city feel kind of relaxed in a weird way that I don't think like a Dragon Gaiden or Ishin, were very relaxed. They're very like more populated, more, people running around and doing things. And this definitely felt more like people are chilling on the beach, playing with volleyballs and hanging out and, sipping out coconuts, etc. It definitely captures a vibe that's different, but definitely what RGG does well. I look forward to again playing this game when it releases. I'm gonna end the video here as I'm going in circles. This has been my impressions of the demo of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. If you guys like the video, do me a favor and like the video. Please consider subscribing as that does help us out tons. But all that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next video.